If you look back in history, there's been normal variations in climate, like back in the 30s and 40s, it was pretty bad, and then the Federation drought. And in that time, we've had periods like we've had now. So one of the things that we ask ourselves now is what's happening to us at the normal variation of climate, or is it actually climate change, and is it something that we're going to have to get used to?
I think the weather's changing. I mean, I was a climate denier for many, many years, and really, I think I just had my head in the sand, really. It was just, I just thought averages are long term and this is only a little blip, and I don't know what's made that change, but it's pretty definite it's changed.
We used to have heaps of rain, like it used to flood out here, and I remember when my kids were little, they'd swim out in the paddocks because there was just water lying everywhere, and we haven't seen that for a long time.
From my experience, it feels, you know, there are any things that you feel, it feels like it's getting hotter. It feels like there's more extremes happening. Any slight variation in temperature or even a slight decrease in our rainfall during the growing season will affect the ability to even be able to grow broadacre crops.
The variability, I guess, the extremes of temperature are a concern, you know, especially when the crops are flowering or whatever. You know, we can have a day like this, then you can have a 40-degree day, like that sort of thing, just and a heat wave for, you know, 5 or 10 days. That can knock things around.
It's a lovely balmy day today, really. I mean, you know, it's probably going to be 19 or 20 degrees, and it's getting towards the end of May, and it's just not typical seasons, really.
I think the level of enthusiasm has waned because of the difficult environmental conditions we've had, and I think it's an opportunity to sort of sit back and say, well, even under a dry environment, there are things that we can do much better than what we did in the last 20 years.
Our climate-based decisions in the past were not so much that we actually set out to make climate decisions. I think we just made farming decisions that were based on weather.
If we're going to expect more variability in our climate out of climate change, the answer has to be in keeping a dynamic decision mode. There's no excuse to say we can't plan because things might change. It's a common call. You need to plan but keep contingency there for different scenarios.
I really do feel that climate change is a very serious issue. So therefore, the more I could learn about it, the better it would be.
I was really impressed that it was a cross-industry partnership, that each of the regional development corporations had put their hand up and said, look, this is really important. We need to be able to train our farmers, provide them with the resources, and really importantly to me, teach them how they can communicate that not only to their fellow farmers, but also to the wider community.
It sounded like a really good program. I really liked the idea behind it of sort of sharing knowledge through peer networks and creating a two-way sort of path of communication with farmers. I thought that was a really great idea, and I saw it as a great opportunity for me, sort of an undergraduate university student, to get into something that was sort of really moving forward. One
of the reasons I got involved in the Climate Champion program, because I think that if I can help other people make decisions that make farming more profitable and more enjoyable for them, well then that's got to be good, really.
If I can take anything to help other farmers in the district improve their management, their decision making, even purely expose them to climatic tools, better predictive modelling.
I want to tell other farmers that they need to get a handle on what's happening in their local weather, what the weather systems are, what the drivers of our climate is. And if you have a bit of knowledge, you can get your head around it, you can make decisions and move on and get on with things.
Oh, I'd look forward to seeing a big S on my chest, you know, and a cape, and that's not what my wife was going on. When do I get my cape? But I think it's a great program. I feel privileged that I'm one of the few that is doing it. But then I guess anybody could have applied.
Now that I'm involved in the program, I'm even more impressed because it's giving me the tools. We were sat down, we were asked exactly what we wanted. Everything that we wanted as farmers, the tools that we needed, everybody's listened, and we're actually getting that training, being provided with those resources, having the most amazing experts come and talk to us.
We're always looking at new ways to do stuff and seeing how other people do stuff, so we can perhaps implement some of that here, which is a good benefit of this program really, because with the contact with the farmers from all over the country, is brilliant. Even if you pick up one thing from them, it's been worth it, I think, and that one thing just could make a huge difference.
Yeah, I'd encourage anybody that's interested, they can all go to the website and pretty much get the same information we're getting from Climate Kelpie and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't think it's that elitist that, you know, that other people can't get involved.